Thank you for coming today, everyone. Today we'll be talking our in-depth training session about the division setup and how that's changed in the new 5.1 version of the system. So the actual use of divisions hasn't changed, but where you can go and alter their information and what you can do with them has changed a little bit. Now with divisions, that is a feature that has to be purchased, so if you have any questions about the pricing or if you have any questions about that, you can contact your salesperson to get any of the pricing information with relation to divisions. So with that, if we go to within the system, once it's been activated, if you go to Setup, Accounting Setup, the first option under General here will be to enable division tracking in the General Ledger. Basically, when you check that box, that is what will give you the ability to use divisions within the system. Now, divisions are a way to go ahead and kind of classify different parts of the system, so different sales, classify them under a different heading even though you're still part of the same system. So if you have an alternate division in your business that maybe sells to a particular customer, you can set up a division to track the sales for that particular division. Once you've turned the divisions on, you'll have a section here for divisions under the same accounting setup. So that will list all the divisions in the system. Every system will always have a company division. That's pretty much your default division. That's what most people will be using in most cases. And then you can set up a number of different divisions. So the company information still pulls from the information that you would find under the Setup, System Setup. And if you click on the View Settings when you're on the company here, this will take you to that option where you can modify the company's division information. Back onto here, if you click on New, that will allow you to create a new division. And with that, you get to specify a division name. You can specify a different logo for the division, so if it uses the same logo, you can specify that. Or you can say a unique logo that's used by this division. You can give it its own address. Its own phone number. It's basically, you can set all the information for the division to be specifically for that division. So we'll just go through. And we'll save that, and that gives you a new division in the system. Now with that, there's two different places that you can go and specify this information now. So when you go to Setup, Employee Setup, you can create a new employee group and have the system pull that division and kind of tie the employees in the system to that particular division whenever you go to classify them. And that's just more for information purposes, so that kind of lets you know that these employees are tied to this division. Everything with them will still work as normally. The other place that this is used is within the company setup. So if I do Explore Companies, and I want to pull up a company here, when you're setting up the company record, there's an option under the tax information here to tell the company what division does this company belong to. So if you edit that, you can pull company A, the company division or the other two divisions. And what this does is if I go pull up an order for that particular company, or for any new order that I create, there's a section on the order to specify what the sales division for that particular order is. So when you specify a different division, what will happen then is, if you go and say print out your invoice or your other customer-based reports, the header of that report will change to reflect the division that you've selected. So if I selected a different order that is for our original division, we have our original information. So the header information will change based off of the information that is set up on your division. And then the last thing that goes with divisions is for your other non-customer reports, for things like your sales reports, your WIP reports, and other reports that are more used internally. The header information doesn't really change, but you can still tell the system to give me a report that shows me all the information for this particular division. So you can run a report for all divisions, or you can run a report for specific divisions. That's pretty much all there is to setting up a division and kind of having it used within the system. Is once it's been turned on, you just classify a company under that division. All the orders will be under that division, but you can always override that on an order. So if I'm doing an order for another company, I can go in here and say, well, for this job, for this company, we're going to change the division, and it will flag that job as being overridden to that division. So you're not locked into the division that a company is at if you set them as one division, but you want to use that order under a different division. That's all there is to it. I thank everyone for coming to this call.